You are now listening to Cocktails and Conversations with Javante Wilson and co-host Dennis King.
Her hand on her. So literally, I don't care if that's your mom. She's fucking your nigga. I think that's
what?
it.
Wait.
They was going for 30 minutes. That's enough time to bust a nut.
Everybody knows. I don't play that shit with whoever I'm with. It was very strategic. I have to give it to the bitch. She was crafty.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, y'all not about to sit here and say that. Y'all are not about to sit here and say that because y'all crazy asses. No.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Conversation. I am your host, Javante Wilson. Yet another week with me by myself. My co-host was not able to make it, Dennis, tonight. But I have a special guest, well, two special guests in the house. I have an old friend. We go back to grade school. We have Tyrell in the building, and we also have his girlfriend, Amanda. I almost messed that up, Amanda.
Don't drop the A.
Amanda.
Amanda is fine. I'm telling you. Amanda's when I'm in trouble.
Well, there it is. And so, before we get into tonight's discussion, and before we get into our check-in, I want to go ahead and get into the drink for the night. With Tyrell, look like yours almost gone.
Man, hey, I ain't gonna lie, it's fire.
See?
I like this. This is dope.
So tonight's drink is tequila. I'm going to put the name of the tequila in the description because I cannot pronounce it. It's something in Spanish, but
it's fancy.
Yeah, okay. The shit hit though. Mixed with some pineapple juice and a splash of fruit punch and some fresh fruit inside.
Do we actually still have some more of this whole combination?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like this whole combination.
Everything
like, all
else,
over again.
So yeah, I told you we should have brought it up here.
Yeah. No, for real though. This is dope.
So yeah, I want to make sure you guys go and get those ingredients so you guys can drink along with us as y'all check into the conversation. So we're going to do a quick check-in. And so we'll start with you, Terrell. You can just say, you know, how you feeling tonight and, you know, where you at.
I'm tired. I just drove way out here. But it's smooth though.
And it's 1 a.m., y'all.
So, yeah.
We were committed.
Okay.
To getting here.
Yeah, I said I was gonna come through.
You did, man.
I'm a man of my word. I said I was gonna make it happen. I made it happen.
You got a story to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, so for sure, I'm gonna tell it.
I appreciate that. And Amanda?
You know, I was fresh off work like hours ago. I'm still up and running.
Now, right before we got on camera, because I was, start taping, I was like, Amanda looks familiar, but I don't know her. But apparently we all went to high school at one point together.
We did.
We all went to Mayfair.
I'm the elder at the table, though.
The elder?
I graduated 07.
Oh, okay. Well, yep, you got us.
Yep.
You got us. Well, hey, well, shit, you here. Okay, so tonight's conversation is centered around, for one, we're just going to have a good conversation, just talk, pretty much catch up, because I haven't seen Tyrell in a long time. But we also want to talk about Black men being incarcerated, and I feel like oftentimes when we have that conversation, it's always painted in a negative light. And so I want to change that narrative and look at the bright side and show some sense of resilience. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit, and Tyrell's going to share his story with us. So actually, let's go ahead and just jump into that. Now, Tyrell, you were somewhat recently incarcerated, correct?
Yeah.
And how long were you incarcerated for?
I did 6 years. I did from 2013 to 2019.
So how old were you when you went in, and then how old?
I was 20, and I got out when I was 26. So basically, like pretty much majority of my 20s, I've been incarcerated. So, in my mind, I've been pretty much raised in prison. I learned pretty much everything in prison. When you're 18, 19, 20, honestly, in my mind, I was still 16. Like I wasn't developed. Like my mind wasn't right.
Well, so before we go jump all the way in it, what was your life like before then? So
yes, what was your life like before then? We want to know. let me take a sip of this cocktail.
I mean, I don't think we should have had you here for all this. But no, in all reality, man, I mean, I was off the hook. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. It was chaos. I mean, way before I was even incarcerated. Like, I've been in foster homes and group homes since I was like 12. So it's like I never really had that structure. I've never really had like a father. Like, nobody ever really taught me anything. I got 3 older brothers, and they still ain't taught me nothing.
I remember meeting one of your brothers.
Travis.
Okay.
Yeah, he's something else. He at home right now, sports betting and playing PlayStation.
There it is.
But no, I never really had that structure. And then when you're in a foster home and group home, I mean, they're actually not your parents, so you don't have to listen to them. They were just like, man, fuck you, I'm out of here.
Right.
And that's more so or less like what I was doing. And
I never knew that. I don't know, and I'm not sure who all.
I mean, a lot of people didn't know that. I mean, when I went to Mayfair, I turned around and got kicked out. I went to Mayfair, then I went to Long Beach Jordan, I turned around and got kicked out. Then I went to LA Jordan, turned around and got kicked out. And then from then on, it was just like foster homes, group homes. I went to LP, Silmore, the county jail, prison. I mean, it was just, slowly but surely it was getting worse and worse and worse. And I mean, that's basically what it is. I mean,
so that's probably why he used to try to bully me in school, y'all.
Hey, it's crazy because I told my girl, like, man, before we got here, like, it's crazy that me and Javante's cool because, like, we never talked about what we've been through, but we fought.
Like cats and dogs.
Yes, we did.
From 6th grade to 9th grade. Like cats and dogs. And I was like,
it wasn't even a reason. There was not like
I was about to say, I never understood the reason. My thing was, I didn't know him. I'd have an issue with him, but I was not backing down for shit.
Like, on the, like, man, fuck this nigga. Yeah. And it was really nothing. But, I mean, I'm glad that we're older.
Yeah, it is refreshing to be able to be in the same space and there's no bullshit and be mature young man and making some moves out here.
You know, it's crazy because I remember like your birthday when me, Courtney, and Asia, we went to your birthday. It was it's like a upstairs like club type of thing. Remember I had the all white suit and we were overly dressed. You had on like a pajamas like a robe or something.
Wow.
And we came.
Yeah.
So that's when it was at Mavericks. The ice.
It was at Mavericks on Crenshaw. Yep.
Yeah. So I was like, you want to know what? That kind of broke the ice, and then that's when I was like,
I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that. Damn, I don't even know what year that was. It probably was like, I want to say like 18, 19 though. Probably 19. It was probably like my 19th birthday.
Oh yeah. I was like.
I was like
2019. I was like 2019.
I wasn't in no white suit.
No. This is like from my 18th or 19th birthday. Yeah, Mavericks flag. My stepmom used to manage it, so I used to be able to be in there. I wasn't supposed to. You're not supposed to be 21 and older, so.
No, I was dope though. It was cool. I mean, we were overly dressed because they made it seem like, oh yeah, like we had to be superly dressed. I had an all white suit, all white pants.
They probably used to my other parties in that year. I was like, I did come in silk pajamas.
Silk pajamas. That's exactly what it came to.
So who the fuck do you think you are?
I low key felt like, you know, like we fought for so long. Like he ain't gonna like want to see me here. But I came with Courtney and Asian. They like, man, it's cool, blah blah blah. He said he's not tripping. He came. He shook my hand. Hey, what's up, bro?
You know
here.
what?
He opened up everything. So it's like, you wanna know what? It's over.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I think us fighting like that was what helped me because so a little backstory on me and we jump back to you, Tyrell. And 2nd grade I got jumped by 5 5th graders. And so all the way up until then, I was like always like timid and quiet, whatever. And I remember getting jumped by 5 fifth graders. And my mom came to school, raised hell. And I remember her saying, if you let somebody hit you or bully you again, I'm gonna beat your ass. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I don't want to go home to that ass whooping. So whoever addressed me, whatever. So I had a bad attitude problem. And whenever it was an issue, like, oh, you want to fight? Oh, cool, let's fight. Like it was an issue. But I think for us, it was like we kept fighting for no reason. And then it was like after we were done fighting, it's like, what do we get from that? And I think that was the biggest thing that I learned from that pointless and you know, whatever, back and forth. It's like, okay, well, no matter if you win or lose, ain't nothing going to come from this or this fight.
It's wasted energy.
For sure. But we were young, dumb kids. I mean, so.
Yeah, and now look at y'all.
Yeah, and it's crazy now that I'm actually on this podcast because I've actually been seeing him, and it's crazy because like we follow each other, and it's like we don't communicate, we don't inbox each other, we don't like. It's like I'll see something like I'll post a video, he's seen it, or I'll look at one of his pictures, or he'll like it, or vice versa, and then I see his podcast, and I'm like, dang, like that'd be dope, like. So I end up inboxing him like, so when can I get on your podcast? Bullshitting around, like not thinking like he's like, oh, I'm thinking he's gonna be like, oh yeah, whenever, bro. You know how like I really thought he was gonna go Hollywood on me, be 100. So, you know, a lot of people like, oh yeah, whenever, like we're gonna set something up. But then he ended up like, hey, it's crazy that you hit me up because we can set something up. Can you do Friday? Friday ended up being.
I was telling Amanda that I was having. Honestly, I feel like the universe answered whatever questions or whatever you need. Yeah, I believe in that. And so I was just telling Amanda before we start recording that just before you hit me up that day, I had just said I want to have this conversation, and then boom, I was having a conversation with a friend, and they were like, "Well, who are you going to get to do it?" I said, "I have no idea." The very next day, that morning, you commented on the video. I was like, there it is. And so it's clearly this conversation is
it has
needed.
To happen. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to give you the raw and uncut.
Let's go ahead and jump into that then. So why were you incarcerated?
I mean, I was in jail for robbery. I did a string of robberies. All through, really everywhere, but they caught me for the string of robberies I did in Long Beach. Okay. So what happened was I was working at Foot Locker at the Lakewood Mall. At that time, minimum wage was only $8 an hour. So my paycheck was looking like every 2 weeks, like $200. Wow. Yeah, so I was going to my hood, I was shooting dice, and I ended up losing all my money. So one day I was just like, you wanna know what? Like, fuck this. So I grabbed the gun, I started robbing. So I'm like, dang, I can go to my hood, shoot dice. Okay, lose it, like, oh well, try to just go rob somebody else. So
you were like in person gun, like
hold man, 357, 6 shots. I'm ready. If you try me, then you are gonna turn around and get tried. If you don't, then you just got. And that's how I was living my life. But make a long story short, I ended up doing it, and I ended up getting caught because one day I told myself mentally, I challenged myself, and was like, I bet you since I can do 2 robberies before I hit this 710 freeway. So I robbed one person, boom, got whatever I got, boom. Second person, as soon as I robbed him, I made a wrong turn down this one-way street in Long Beach. And the police was coming head on, pulling me over. They asked me could they search my car. I said no. They seen the sweater I had on because I took it off. They had the person in the back of the car. Does this look like a suspect? Wow. They was like, no, this isn't him. So then they grabbed the hoodie and put it up next to me and was like, hey, is this him? They said, yeah, that's him. Wow. And I did 6 years. Wow. Period. So basically every robbery that they...
But that's a short period of time for what you were doing, right? Or is that
I mean, well...
Compared to nowadays.
Right.
I'm going to tell you this. My first offer was 16. Period. And at that time, I was dating this girl, and she's giving me the whole, fantasy that I'm going to be there for you, and no matter what happens, no matter how much time you get, and I'm going to stick by you, and I mean, it all sounded good, and the money's on the phone, and the money's on my books and the visits is looking amazing. But as time progressed, 2 years in, then and when as soon as you hit that prison yard, you start having a phone in your hand and niggas is sending you videos of them fucking your girl and.
For the record, that was not me who he's
talking
about. That ain't me.
I still have the video. I have the video right now. Like, and
we can look at that afterwards.
Right.
Sure,
I don't think we want to play that.
Oh,
the audio.
Hey, no, for real, because I mean.
But that's crazy.
Yeah, so I got basically how that story was. I was talking to this girl, and she sold me the American dream. Like, you know, I'm gonna be there for you, and I don't care how much time that you end up getting. I mean, my mom was here. My mom is a black mom. She's the one that says, you know what, if you ever get locked up, don't call me. I'm not coming. I'm not putting money on your books. I'm not putting money on your phone. But still, as her being a mom, that was just her talking.
Yeah, I think that's like their scare tactic to try to scare you to not do it. So
but
it's like,
me, I was so off the hinges. And like I said, I mean, your mom can only do so much.
Yeah.
Up until a certain point in time. Because after that, then look at my mom. She's 5'2". I'm 5'11". It's like, what can you really do to me at this
That's
point?
nothing. I was like, damn, I'm like, this thing got taller.
So it's like, what can you really do to me at this point?
But it's interesting that you bring up your mom. So I did a very, 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 people that's listening, they ain't gonna believe this, but I did a very, very short period of time in jail. So the first time I kept driving suspended license and shit. And so they put me over, you know, took me in. It was supposed to be for the weekend and it ended up being like a week or so. The first person I was thinking about, at first I was like, okay, let me just do my weekend, whatever, so they can throw the tickets out. They were like, oh no, you got a shitload of tickets of different courts. We got to take you different places. Long Beach, I had a $50,000 warrant out for my arrest and they were trying to get me 3 to 6 months in jail. And I was like, okay, no, something got to give. When I tell you, I was like, I don't know. I didn't know nobody know about her. I was like, whoever number I know, get my mama on the phone, tell her. Because I didn't want to bother her. I said, fuck that. I got some money here. Tell her, go get it. Go get a bill, something. I can figure this shit out outside of here, but I could not do this shit inside. But long story short, that was like in August 2 years ago. And then I fought the case with a public defender outside of jail, which she wasn't no fucking help. She really wasn't trying to use the time that I did before with the time that they were trying to give me. So I literally was like up there with her, like, you know, like telling her what the fuck to say. She wasn't trying to help me. And long story short, they reduced it from 6 months to 3 months. And then they said 30 days. And then I ended up doing a week and a half because
the county jail's
it was overcrowded. Yeah,
that's what I'm telling you. You get people getting like a county lit, which is a county year, and you might maybe do like 20 some to 30 days off of a county year, and that's how crowded it is.
And what's the crazy part is on the 9th of December would make 2 years that this happened, because I had to turn myself in on the 9th of December, like right before Christmas. I was like, damn, I have to be in there for Christmas and New Year's. You know, the closest people, I probably talk about 5 people, pay my rent and my bills, whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to tell nobody. I want to bother nobody with this. I'm just going to do my shit, come back. My job knew, they were cool with it. Boom. But so this is exclusive. Nobody knew that. Well, I'm very quiet about my shit. But I mean, if we've been transparent, I might as well, you know, throw my shit on the table too. But yeah, that happened. But you were sharing about your situation.
I mean, yeah, I did my little crime. One time that I think that really hurt me the most, I think was at sentencing. And not even that, because I ran through like LA County Jail. I gangbang, so it's like I did all that, like, hey, where you from? And people ask me where I'm from. Okay, yeah, like me about to go get in or whatever, or we about to line y'all up, or y'all about to line us up, whatever. I bounced in through many court tanks, ran plenty of fades. But the most part that really like hit close home was when I was being sentenced. And not even that, I was doing like my time, because I already knew what I was gonna take.
How long after you arrested were you sentenced?
Man, that was so.
Isn't that like the?
I'm gonna tell you this because when I got sentenced, I'm like, boom. When I go, I'm like, okay, this is my first time being arrested as an adult. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna give me probation. I'm like, oh, they're gonna give me probation. That wasn't it at all. That wasn't it at all. They talking about 16. So then I'm telling my lawyer, like, I'm lying to him. Hey, I didn't do it. It ain't me.
Okay.
I'm trying to get them to believe what I'm trying to believe for myself.
Yeah.
But in all reality, I know what I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we going through that whole thing. He's telling me just to waive time. So we waiving time. So boom, then they tell me to come back in 30 days. I come back in 30 days. I'm waiving time. I'm getting in fights. I'm going to the hole in North. I don't know if you know where that is. That's in Supermax. Well, it's Supermax North South, and then there's East Max. East Max is a fire camp. North is like their Thunderdome. And
where's this located? Like,
this is all like in Valencia. It's like right on the street from Magic Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all right there.
Do you know a lot of people there, or like people from your hood?
I mean, it's really like a little hit and miss. Like you might see some homies, or you might see some enemies. It just depends. It's like a 50-50. Then like the police try to tell you like, oh yeah, like hey, like where you from? Like, man, I don't bang. If any police ask me to this day, like, hey, where you from? I don't bang. I don't bang. Because to me, it's none of your business. Because you don't bang, so it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, okay, well, we just want to know so we don't put you in the wrong place. Well, I don't bang. So if I end up in that wrong place, I'm just going to handle whatever consequences come my way. So if it's 10 enemies and we're going to have to run 10 fades, so be it. If it's 10 homies and we just going to spread and we gonna eat, then let's eat. But, I mean... But I was saying the hardest part of everything was my sentencing. And that was when I had to look back and look at my mom's eyes. And she was just pouring, crying. And I could just see it in her that she was just like, damn, like my baby. Like, my mom had 4 boys. And I'm like the youngest out of 4 boys. And I'm the only one that came back. So she was
looking at
me
20. This is while you're 20.
Yeah, I'm 20. So, and then you have to think about this. I've been in foster home since I was 12. So from 12 to 18, I was gone. So that's 6 years. So I was only with my mom from 12 to 18, and then from 18 to 20, and then from 20 I went, and then I got locked up. So it's like, dang, like my baby, like he was gone. I just got him back, and now he's gone again.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang. So I'm telling my mom, it's like, man, like, don't even worry about it. I'm crying because she's crying. Yeah. And it's hurting her. And then I can see, like the hurt in her eyes. It's like, damn. But one thing I promised to my mom was I was going to make it out in one piece. And, I mean, clearly I'm here. Yeah. I'm on your podcast.
Cocktails and Conversations.
I mean, so
some stories you got are crazy.
Yeah, I got 1,000,001 stories.
Now, question. This is one thing that has always fascinated me.
Talk to me.
How the hell do y'all get cell phones and shit in there? Like chargers and shit. Like they motherfuckers look watching cable. Like,
okay, well, I'm gonna tell you this though. This is the whole thing about prison. For the right price, you can get anything. You can get literally anything.
Including the Popeyes chicken sandwich. I just seen some online on the Shade Room. Somebody in jail had one. I'm like, this nigga got one before me.
You can get anything.
That's crazy.
You can get any phone. You can get any tablet. You can get some pussy in there.
That was my next question, but I want to focus on the first. That's definitely my next question.
The right price. I've seen a pound of weed in prison. And you'd be like, how the fuck do you get that? But, I mean,
money
like
talks.
I said, for that right price, I mean,
and so
look at them COs, like they making, let's say, $17 an hour, $18 an hour. It's Christmas time. They need money and they got kids and this and that. So if you turn it off of them, like, hey, I'll give you $3 grand, just bring in this pound of weed because for this much weed right here, you're trying to get $50 in prison. So it's like for what you can get.
So it's people in prison slanging in prison.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh wow,
for sure. So for what you can get, I mean, I want all of his viewers to look at your pinky finger,
okay.
look at your fingernail on your pinky finger, and for that amount of weed in prison is $50.
Wow.
So just imagine off of a pound, how many $50 could you get off of that pound?
Yeah.
And it's
Thank you for breaking that down, because sometimes I even forget, like, we're not visual and it's audio. So you just demonstrated like this much. I'm like, oh wow.
Everybody listening like, well, my pinky nail kind of long.
Your pinky
we talk about natural nails, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at it. I don't care how big you are. Just look at your pinky fingernail and just imagine a pound of weed. So then break that down.
So those guards that are helping bringing phone in and drugs in, are they also helping like keeping what you got running on the low so that you continuously use them?
Of course.
So they know you got a phone, but you got to hide it.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, and then that's when the whole snitching comes, because then it's always a favor for a favor. I mean, it's always like, oh yeah, hey, give up this person, and then I'll do this for you. Or look, or I've seen police catch people with their phones. Like, hey, look, I'll let you keep your phone. I'm not tripping off that. But who's producing the phones? I'm gonna get him out the way. And then it goes to, and then, I mean, there's always a snitch. I don't give a fuck. Like, we could be on a yard full of gangsters.
Yeah.
The biggest, buffest dudes that you can see. All these people with all these tattoos on their faces, and this is not, that don't make you hard. That don't make you real. And I've seen the most toughest niggas who you would think, quote unquote, is tough. I mean, fold. You be like, fold. You be like, damn, like, why?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's what it really comes down to be. I mean,
now going to the pussy part, you know.
It's easy. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, look.
This is before me.
Okay, one, I'm gonna be 100. I've never got no pussy in jail. Period. I never got no pussy. But there was a time that I got super close to getting some pussy in jail, and it wasn't even intentional. It wasn't even that I was shooting my shot. It was more so that she was shooting her shot. Then what happened? Oh
no! Go
my bad.
Go on.
We're listening.
Who was it?
I mean, well,
we screwed up.
I could get real detailed. And okay, as far as California's prisons, they're starting to get overcrowded. So what California did was they leased prisons in out of states. So it's like they had a prison in Mississippi, they had a prison in Arizona, and they had a prison in Oklahoma. So it's like, okay, well, you might go to the pen.
For people that's getting
so you can be incarcerated in California,
but they shipping you out.
In Oklahoma, in Arizona, in Mississippi. And the only way to get out of it is if you fake like you're on suicide watch. Like, oh yeah, well, you want to know, I'm going to kill myself. But the only thing about that is I was trying to get the fire camp. So if you go suicide watch, then when my little points drop in 2 years, now I can't go to fire camp because I said I was suicidal 2 years ago. So then they didn't want to put me at fire camp knowing that I might kill myself.
Right.
So I go out there, I go thug it out there for a year. But when I first get out there, I'm going through there, like, first you're going through Arizona, you see all the women that's working there, and they're like women, like they grown women, like they built like, you like, damn, like she Ford tough. Like, okay, but, so we go through that, and then they
smile too much and make it. Amanda looking like,
I'm trying to visualize, like, damn, he said 4 7. I'm like,
okay, what that look like?
Looking like
she was stacked, huh?
Okay, come on, Sally.
It was looking like that 2019 thing.
Okay.
Ride body.
Yeah, exactly. But anywho, before I was really interrupted, I'm just fucking around. No, but so Arizona is just basically like their little hub. So if you go to Arizona, then they're gonna either ship you to Oklahoma or Mississippi. you do not have a choice. It's just wherever the fuck they want to send you. Mm-hmm. So they ended up shipping me to Oklahoma. So I ended up being on a bus for 24 hours. I get there, and it just so happened I end up in a building with two of my personal homies from my hood. Mm. So you know how that is. Like, they welcome me in there. They shoot me some food. They shoot me some hygiene. Make sure I'm straight. Mm-hmm. And then it was a lady. I'll never forget her name. Her name was Miss McGee. Mm-hmm. And I'm chilling with some of my homies. They breaking down the whole program. Like, this is where we sit. Mm-hmm. This is where we hang out at. This is where the Mexican showers is. This is where the black showers is. This is where you can't walk through these tables, but you can walk through these tables. These are your phones. These are not your phones. Mm. And them telling me all this, Miss McGee, and at this time I didn't know her name, but she's like, excuse me, sir, like, can I talk to you for a minute? So I'm like, yeah. So I walk over there to her, and one of my boys walks over there with me, and she's like, he doesn't need any chaperone. So he's like, oh, my bad. Mm-hmm. Like, he just got here. Like, this is one of my boys.
Mr. McGee wanted it.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, like, this is one of my boys. Like, oh, like, okay, like, he all right. Then she's like, excuse me, like, are you inside this building? I'm like, yeah, like, my name is Douglas. I just got here. I'm in cell 101. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, okay. And she's like, can you smile? I was like, what? So I instantly covered up my mouth with my hand. I'm like, what? Okay. Like, I had something, like, on my teeth or something? She's like, no, like, do you have braces? I'm like, yeah, like, why, what's up? Like, she's like, no, just smile. I'm like, no, like, why? She's like, no, like, you are so cute.
Oh. I'm
like, what the, like, in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
I'm like, but now I'm blushing.
Right.
But I'm still trying to be hard, like,
right.
Man, like, like, is that it? Like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, you are cute to be you are too cute to be in jail. So I'm like, well, can I go back? She's like, yeah, like, you can go back.
I was like, what shift do you work? Make sure.
Yeah, no. But see, I wanted to be acting like, you want to know what? Like, I'm not worried about you.
Like that,
but I'm going to see her. I'm going to see her because she works in this building.
Yeah.
But make a long story short, I ended up leaving. I ended up being with some of my homies. We ended up doing, like, whatever we was doing at that moment. But we were leaving, and the following day, she come up to me like, hey Douglas, like what are you doing? I'm like, I'm nothing, I'm chilling. Like, at this time it's like downtime. A lot of people are at work. Mm-hmm. I mean, some people who don't have jobs. I just got there, so I didn't have a job. Mm-hmm. But she was like, what are you in jail for? And I ended up telling her, like, man, I'm in jail for robbery, this and that. And she's just like, why? Like, you look like you had like a lot of girls out there. And I'm like,
she was really
like, she was shooting her shot.
She was very clear.
But in prison, it's kind of scary to actually take them seriously, because at any given time
they can switch it up.
They can, for sure, and that can be your worst nightmare.
Yeah. Well, at least you're forward thinking and like somewhat conscious, because being young in jail, you know, okay, shit.
I mean, yeah.
You told she's stacked. I mean,
yeah, but at the same time, I'm sitting there like, man, I'm not gonna go for this, like, cause I'm thinking like this is all like a mirage. Mm-hmm. Like, this is like what I'm seeing is not what I'm seeing. Like, you know how like you might think somebody's getting at you, but they just being friendly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, she's just being friendly.
Yeah.
But I think one of my boys, I don't really want to say his name, but one of my boys, I can say where Hoodie's from. I mean,
just say where your boys. Well, you know my hood coming to attack cocktails.
No. It's one of my good people. Uh-huh. But yeah, I mean, I'll leave his hood out of it. But he was like, hey.
She would.
He was talking about, no, he wasn't talking about her. He was talking about another CO, like for $100. I mean, when
for $100.
For $100.
It's a wonderful
$100. As soon as they lock everybody's door, she'll pop you out and she'll go crazy. Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean go crazy? Man, she'll suck you, she'll fuck you, whatever, for $100. I'm like,
she on the low end. Because, I mean, shit, prostitutes, I think, charge more than that.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking like,
if some weed the size of your
okay.
50.
You would think pussy more than that.
Yeah, but see, I'm so young. But
That is
crazy. In my mind, I'm still fly. So I'm like, I'm not paying for no pussy. Like, I'm a nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, pussy come to me for free. But, he told me about her, like this other female, not even Miss McGee. He told me about the other one. She kind of whooped out. And I remember one night, like I was sleeping, he came and knocked on my cell door. Keep in mind, everybody's supposed to be locked down. Everybody's cell's is locked, but he's out. He's like, hey. He gave me the whole signal like, hey, she went crazy. Wow. I'm like, oh, like, you really a nigga for that one.
Okay.
But back to Miss McGee, I mean, so make long story short, like we had a little riot that happened when I was in Oklahoma. We go crazy. I mean, the Mexicans tried to stab one of my homeboys, and I ended up socking him. He dropped his knife. When I went to go pick up his knife to go stab him, the police shot me in my back. So I got shot with a live round in my back. And
wow.
Yeah, I currently have a scar on my back. I mean,
is that sexy to you, Megan?
No, it's not. It's scary to think like that you go there to serve your time, and then it's like that might be the last thing you do.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is the most serious thing I've ever had to do, and my whole life, and aside from just like being in prison. But when I first got locked up, and you go through like reception, they're telling you to sign all these papers, like sign here, sign there, but a lot of people aren't reading it. But it was one of the papers that you're actually signing your own death certificate, and that's just because it's not guaranteed that you're gonna make it home.
Wow.
At no point in time is it guaranteed that you're gonna make it home.
That shit is crazy.
No matter how much time you're sentenced to, you can be sentenced to 2 days, 2 months, 5 years. It's not guaranteed that you're gonna make it home. So, I mean, you have to sign your own death certificate, and you have to sign where you want your body to go.
What the fuck?
Right.
And that's for everybody.
Wow. And at that age, what do you don't think about that?
At 20, I'm thinking about, okay, my mama's on everything, but it's like, dang, like, and when I told my mama that, she started like crying, and it makes you feel some type of way. You want to act hard because although your mama's sitting here crying on the phone, you have all these other men, like, although they may not be looking directly at you at your conversation, but they're around you. Yeah. So for you to break down and start crying, they're going to see that. So you try to, act hard and stick your little chest out, but it still hits home.
Now, this is going to be an uncomfortable question, but I'm going to go ahead and ask.
That's uncomfortable with me.
So clearly you had some of your homies there during the time. Were there any times that the homies wasn't around and somebody else tried you in more of a friend way, like a sexual way, try to make a sexual pass or get at you?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. And prison is not what you see on TV. What you see on TV, that is not prison. That is some bullshit.
Right.
And as far as sexual way, as far as like a dude trying to grab your ass or
you even drop the soap,
and all that old shit. That doesn't happen in prison. That happens on PCRs. Okay. And when I say that happens on PCRs, because that's where all the sex offenders, pedophiles, rapists, child molesters, they're put on those yards because they're not allowed to walk on the actual main line. If you do that on a main line, you will be stabbed. There's no ifs, ands, there's no nothing. You don't get no pass. Any type of pass on any man that you do in prison, you're getting stabbed. Well, it's zero tolerance.
I needed a motherfucking shank when I was in there for my 2 weeks. So
they tried.
Clearly I'm gay, and so I told them that I was. So they put the gays with the gays because they don't want gays getting attacked by straight people. Right.
So because of homophobia. So what, you had a powder blue? So they don't put you like in the county jail.
It was blue. Yeah.
Yeah, powder blues.
And then, which I feel like is already stupid and fucked up because you already making them stand out. They're like a sitting fucking duck. But they do escort us every fucking where. We're not supposed to be left alone. And the first time I went, they left me in the common area where you're supposed to get your little check, your X-rays and all that shit, whatever. When I finally went to go see the nurse, whatever, the guard see my wristband. She was like, "You're not supposed to be out here chilling." I'm like, "Bitch, I don't know." It's my first time here.
Y'all run this shit.
Yeah. But long story short, like the second time I went, whatever, and I was already like agitated because it took like 3 days to even get to bed. And then
you're in the whole county jail. You're in the Twin Towers.
Yes.
Private Metro.
Yes.
I know. You have to literally sleep on the floor. You get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing they feed you is peanut butter jelly sandwich. You may get some the little bean burritos, whatever. And then, not to mention, I was vegan when I went in there, so I was scared to eat anything because if I would have ate something outside of my diet, it would just fuck me up. And so I would just take like if they do give us like a bologna sandwich, take the bread off of the off the bologna, eat the banana, whatever, maybe drink the orange juice. I would not fucking with that milk. And so shit like that. But so when it took like 3 days for me to finally get to bed, and then when I did get to bed, it was this old white gay guy in there, whatever. And so then he was speaking to me and talking to me, whatever. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm keeping it very short, whatever. So he was at the bottom bunk, I get on top bunk, whatever. So then I'm trying to go to sleep. He was like, I'll never forget. He said, if you need anything, and I mean anything, just let me know. And I turned over and told them, I said, if you try anything, I will fuck you up. And turned over and went to sleep. Because at this point, I'm sleep deprived. I'm tired. Like, I'm like, I don't got time for this shit. And that is, even as a game, that was the furthest thing from my fucking mind, being in here both times. It was like, I'm here to do my shit and get the fuck out of here.
Dirty and
nasty. It is so nasty. So nasty.
It's just
so nasty.
Man.
It's like, yeah, I did something to deserve to be here, but I'm still human, and
I mean, even that you
sanitary,
did something to actually deserve to be there. I mean, I did something wrong.
Yeah,
but why the fuck?
But I should be able to lay on something that's suitable.
Yeah.
Eat food that's good.
Yeah.
I should just
see dudes down there sleep like.
Yeah,
it's like no tomorrow. Like on it was concrete.
It was guys in there tweaking on the floor, it was just that shit was crazy.
That's not cool.
It was crazy. So we'll go into more of a light note, because you're home now. It's an amazing thing. I want to just talk about like what was when you came home, like what was the process of like kind of, because one thing that fucked me up about being there is that I'm used to coming and going as I want, and so somebody telling you when you can and can't, you are literally confined. So coming home, like, how did you reset yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many times I prayed to God for just that moment to just be in my car on like the actual freeway, like just driving to my music, just going and coming as I please. So even now, this is 4 months since I've been home. Well, was it June? So July, August, September, October. It's November. So 5 months now. 5 months that I've been out. Sometimes I still be like, damn, like I'm really home. Like it still hasn't really set in. It's still like kind of fresh like here and there. Like I can go and come as I please. Like. But it's like a real amazing feeling. I mean, it feels unreal, like sometimes. It feels extremely unreal. But, I take it one day. Like, one day, at a time.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about where you are now, because one thing when I think about black men and incarceration, I think about recidivism. And how, black men, they go to jail and it's like it's a cycle. And 9 times out of 10 it's a cycle because it's hard for them to get jobs after they come out of jail, and how the system and these records fuck their future up.
That's not true. That's like if you wanna like base your life on that, if you wanna like deep like really like tell yourself that it can't happen, then it won't happen. But if you want to tell yourself like it can happen, it will happen. Like I came home, it's a place right now off of Atlantic in Compton. I can tell anybody right now, they'll go give you a job right now. It's working warehouse. You're gonna start $13, $14 an hour, and I mean, it's a warehouse. I mean, but it's a job. I mean, you ain't out here standing in front of the liquor store asking for no handouts, but it's a job.
But for you, you're in a much better situation. I mean,
man, you know, I done met a couple of good people who have put me in ideal situations. I mean, right now, I mean, this all started over like me and one of like my best friend. Like, she's a female, but I was talking to her boyfriend. We was all getting drunk one day, and we started talking about working, and then
he sobered up so fast.
Okay.
He said, "Wait, what?
The opportunity.
Wait, what's the number I gotta call?
Okay.
When do I gotta go?"
Yeah, he was talking about working like this
man.
little union job. He said it's kind of hard, but it's starting off $20 an hour. He said in 4 years you're gonna be making $40 an hour, and I mean, it's good. Full on benefits, medical, dental, vision. A 401k, I mean, so I was like, yeah, like, all right, so when do I hit you up? He said, man, just call me on Monday, and knowing me, I mean, I'm very persistent, so that Monday I called him, he put me on, and then 2 weeks after that, I took a piss test, and I've been working ever since. I mean, I'm currently working at this union, I'm doing construction. And it's hard. I mean, I give it that, but I mean, it pays enough.
Yeah,
One thing I say is that like he has, like his mentality, you would never think that he's gone through what he's gone through.
Yeah.
Like when I met him, like our conversations, it was like he had goals, you know, and it was like that's what made me just like okay, like I don't see no red flags.
Yeah.
People probably be like, no, you don't even know.
And you guys made it official after he came home, right?
After.
Yeah.
That's
really
But
good.
I mean, we had plenty of conversations. Please stop. Don't ruin my moment.
No, like she like my swag.
His mentality is very different. Like he's very driven. Like he has ambition, you know. So when that opportunity came about, I called him on that Monday. I'm like, did you call him? He was like, I'm already on it. And I'm like, you know, that alone says so much to be like, okay, he's on top of it. You know, he's not wasting no time.
Yeah.
And there was moments where he would go hard on himself, you know, because he feels like, okay, well, I'm not working, you know, I'm not getting money. And I'm like, but look at like where you've come. It's only been how many months? You know what I'm saying? You already making phone calls and getting interviews set up. And so, yeah, you feel like, you know, it's not moving as fast as you would like it to move. Yeah. But it's moving, you know, and it's moving in the right direction.
Right.
So when he handled that, it was like, it just started snowballing into like, into something amazing because you put that effort, you know, you could be sitting at home, you could be sitting, you know, I'm blocking the set like all day, every day with the homies, you know, like you could definitely been doing that. But he didn't, and now he's where he's at, and
that's amazing. And so, and that was the whole point of this conversation, to be able to share, you know, for Tyrell to share his story, but then also to share that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that you don't have to fall into the same paradigm, that routine of going back to jail, and that you know you can have a better life.
Want it.
For sure.
It's not even. I mean, since I've been working there now, I've only been working there like, what, a month?
A month now.
I've gotten 2 people on, so it's not even. Two people.
He doesn't keep it to himself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like if you want to work, like let's go eat.
Continues being blessed. You will continue getting blessed because you are sharing the wealth. So that's really dope.
But why? Like why? Like why would I keep it to myself? It's really enough money out there for everybody.
A lot of people don't think that way though.
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot of people don't think that way.
And that's sad. I mean, I don't see why.
Because it's not going to take away from what you're doing.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm still going to make the same amount of money.
As that cycle for somebody else.
Yeah, we're gonna all make $20 an hour, and it's gonna make it that much easier on me because now we both carrying all this rebar.
There we go. Okay, help me
less bars
help
on
you.
his shoulder.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, I want you to talk about like what does your future look like for you? What do you want to see happen? Chloe, you have an amazing, supportive girl right here. What else? You know, what else is in your future?
I'm doing good.
Are you
He's
alright?
just so sexy to me, and it's not even like physical. Like his, like, I always say, like, they need to donate his brain to, like, science, because I swear, like, I always say that, and it's, like, no bullshit, like, he thinks different, like, even when it comes to just games, like, his strategy is ridiculous, you know, and it's, like,
forward thinking,
very forward,
but
you know.
I'm gonna tell you this, like, after being in every situation, and I've always told myself that I'm gonna be on 2020 one day, or I'm gonna be on 60 Minutes. I'm gonna be explaining my story. I mean, this is close.
Start here.
Okay, so we're gonna start here.
Thank you for the start.
Thank you for comparing it to these shows. Shit, I want to be one of them. A nationally syndicated show.
I've been through so much. I mean, I've seen almost pretty much every. I mean, within my 27 years of being on this earth, I've pretty much seen everything. I've seen both sides of people getting shot. I mean, I've seen the other side of that. And I mean, I've seen people being stabbed. I've seen the actual other side of that. I mean, I've been shot like myself. I mean, I've been in prison. I mean, out of all these situations, all these worst like situations I've been in, I mean, I've seen pretty much everything. And it's a blessing for me to be able to even have this conversation today, to actually be here. Because at any given time, God could have just took me up out of here, and then I would just be another person on a t-shirt or a car wash or whatever. But I mean,
I think, well, and clearly God wanted you here and wants you here because you have a bigger purpose to fulfill and to serve Him. So. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being here. Thank you as well.
Thank you.
You know, I love that you do have somebody that got your back and that's supporting you.
Man, I needed you, girl.
Okay.
Let them know.
Okay.
I needed you 6 years ago.
Okay.
But see, I tell you, we were talking about the universe. It's like, who knows if he would have worked 6 years ago where he was at mentally.
He wasn't
or
ready.
Where I was at, you know, because that's a whole different story about my story.
Okay, that's gonna be part 2. We'll bring you back. We will bring you back.
We're gonna bring you back.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it works now.
Yeah.
And I always tell him, like, he's everything I've had on a piece of paper. Wow. He checked everything off, you know. And as far as future goes, like getting a house and just building a solid foundation, you know, things that I didn't know about when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? No one taught me how.
Maybe a baby and wedding bills.
Maybe because I don't have no kids.
He doesn't have kids. I do. But I never had that experience to have somebody that, like, you know,
throughout the process,
and just
in love with the person,
it's just as happy as I am, you know. But he has a lot of self-discipline, and he's not one that's just gonna be like, oh yeah, let me stick it in raw whenever. Not at all. He can definitely pass on that because he says he's not ready. You know, he's not where he wants to be.
$5.99 box of magnums. I'll be taking 3 of those.
3 of those.
Well, I get them for my job for free, so I'll hit you up. I'll get you a care package. All of we get them for free.
Sure.
Yeah,
he just has a clear vision, and you know,
which is helpful, and I mean, it's good to think consciously and critically, because you don't want to step into that realm with someone
being
that's
impulsive.
Because
that'll take you right back.
You
know. So he's made a lot of progress, and I definitely wouldn't want to interfere with that. You know, because he has so much to accomplish still, and you know, there's plenty of time for all of that. Well, that foundation though is definitely being built right now.
I love it. Well, thank you guys for joining me again. Thank you guys for listening in to this week's episode of Cocktails and Conversation. Please like, subscribe, and share. And Megan has already told us.
It's Amanda.
Where did I get Megan?
Hold on. I'm gonna be like, show me the DMs, because if he mentioned the Megan in the DMs, it's gonna be a problem.
Megan? I mean,
Megan McGee. Was
that? Oh my God, Amanda.
Was that the first name?
Well, Amanda told me that she's coming. Amanda told me that she's coming back for her episode exclusive for her. Hopefully she ain't gonna renege on it by me calling her another name.
That was my ex-girlfriend I had on here. And
don't you lie. He lied.
Don't expose
See, I'm gonna need another cocktail.
Bye, y'all. Thank y'all for listening.